Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Connor, here with my father.
Beabadoobee.
Yeah, that didn't work, but we'll roll with it.
No, let's do another.
Let's
do it.
Close.
I can do it better.
It was good enough. Today, covering an artist that we haven't covered on the channel. Tell me what you know about Beabadoobee.
Okay, what do I know about Beabadoobee? I know that Beabadoobee was grew up in London. Mm-hmm. I believe she's from the Philippines. Or
her family is Filipino.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of the Rick Rubin interview. I find that she is a very shy person.
Just from the interviews? Just
from the interviews and stuff, yeah. She's very shy and very reserved. And she's got a very sweet voice. Mm-hmm. And I watched a jazz cover version, a young lady playing Stuck on...
one of her songs.
Glue.
Yeah.
They did a jazz version of it, and I was like, oh, wow, who is that? Then I went and listened to Glue.
The original.
Then I sniffed some Glue, and then...
and then you had a crazy night.
I had a crazy night listening to Pink Floyd.
Beabadoobee. I've been a fan for a little bit now. I enjoyed her second record, and I thought it was nice. It fit this almost stripped back DIY feel, very personal. I thought she was a phenomenal songwriter, and I really liked the style, but it wasn't anything that like I went back to consistently. It was just like, it's a good album, I like it, but it didn't connect with me the way this record did. With this record here, she partnered up with Rick Rubin. You saw the interview. Yep. I believe he did what do you call it? Not co-produce, but
I think he consults.
Executive producer. She apparently took a lot of influence from artists like Fiona Apple and Elliott Smith and a few others that I can't think of at the top of my head, but went into this record, and it is a lot more, I don't want to say heavily produced, but it's like the production is very prominent.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, kind of stripped back.
Yeah.
This is the opposite. Listening to this record, I feel like you will like a lot of the elements. Basically, the production, the mixing, the playing, the writing, and the singing are all really good on this record. And it's one of my favorites of the year, so that's why I was really excited to eventually get to it. So I'm glad we've gotten to it today. Track number 1, Take a Bite.
Whoa, right away.
Production is
really, really clear.
Yeah.
I like how she phrases.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's great, eh?
Riff.
Great bass there. That was...
Yeah.
Wanna do it all over again.
Wow, her whispery, I'm going to say this right away, her whispery vocals.
Yeah, on certain parts.
Are really, really tasty.
Yeah, and clear.
Yeah,
very nicely mixed right off the bat, like you said.
Super. When you hit that and those guitars came in, I've said it before about when guitars don't really sound like guitars.
Yeah.
It's because they've they've EQ'd them so much that they don't sound like guitars. These came in really, really clear, but still sounding like an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, everything was clear from the drums to you could hear the bass line.
You can hear the bass line, yeah.
And then her vocals fit perfectly kind of right in that middle pocket that I like.
Great start for my Beabadoobee
experience.
Yes.
your introduction to
Yes.
Beabadoobee. I think this is your introduction because we haven't had her on a feature or anything like that. So
no,
this is a lie. You've listened to one song off here, Beaches. I think.
Yeah, no, I showed you a snippet of the.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the whole song.
Yeah, but you like watched a little bit of it.
I watched them when the water was coming in their legs.
Yeah.
I like that part of the video.
No, great way to open the record. Speaking of water, speaking of beaches, track number 2, California.
Oh, nice. Wow. Reminds me of some Depeche Mode shit.
Spending too much time out in California. I've never felt that.
Holy shit.
Looks the same from the outside. Wanted to change, I swear I tried.
Great build up in this pre-chorus here.
Got a
Post.
fragile heart, always thought you knew that. I swear I tried.
See, this is the real structured songwriting.
Yeah.
We're going to go to bridge now. And
They won't listen till I started cracking a pick up the pieces of what
Love the drumming on this album.
really good drum. Yeah. You know, I got to say, there's something really, really smart about. I got to shut up sometimes.
What?
No, I always start jumping in. I should let you talk.
No, you go.
There's something really, really smart about having the balance of heavy, and what they've done there in that track is heavy and then her soft vocals. Because if we would have had a no diss in Kelly Clarkson or anything like that, but you have a track like that that's running at that tempo and that feel and that
heaviness
in the post-chorus, you could easily be like, that high up.
Very high, yeah.
Very high and
aggressive
really,
vocals.
Since you've been gone.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is
sometimes,
great. Which is great. But this is a cool way of doing this. Like she's sort of.
You kind of hit that note.
What?
Since you've been gone.
Oh, I get hit if I want to.
Go do it.
Okay. Since you've been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's way too high. I grab my testicles. Since you've been gone.
There we go.
Okay. But her voice reminds me of where Billy sings.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
In a way, where Billy sings. Billy doesn't really go up to that.
No, well, Billy can sometimes.
She can. I'm not dissing Billy. I'm just saying I like that where you're so close. The amps, the preamps, the vocal amps are right up, really loud, and you're right in there, and you're singing,
And the album has this kind of almost like, it's weird because it feels so polished, but it also has a raw, off the floor feeling to it as well. Do you understand what I mean?
Totally. And the post, I keep going back to the post-chorus, but the post-chorus was this heavy, sort of heavier, dirty, grungy thing, right? And that was unexpected with the, what am I trying to say? I don't know the fuck. I went to grade 6. The balance of sweet and salty, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting to my point.
Yeah, the back and forth, and I know what you mean.
She's soft, she's singing soft, and then you have
instrumentals are aggressive,
and that is such a really cool balancing act to do, right? So
track number 3, One Time.
Didn't believe the love you gave. It takes two people to make that mistake. Did this one time.
It's funny because you don't know him yet. We haven't done it, but so Elliott Smith inspired.
Wandering through the cheap escape.
Like this is just it screams Elliott.
Just avoiding all the things that I say.
Love that line.
fucking the players are really on point. They're great. Hear the clarity of the ride?
Yeah.
It's very, very piercing. You know, it's a very confusing solo. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. Just getting heavier and grungier and...
That was cool. I think that
one of the more experimental ones on here.
Yeah, the guitar solo was like, that'll have to grow on me because it was like one of the, like in Wonder Horse, the last track on Wonder Horse.
Yeah, that one. Okay, well, the Wonder Horse one was
8 minutes long.
Was probably worse than that.
But, yeah.
But
this had some melody to it.
I like it. But it did have to grow on me. First listen to that solo, I was like, really, Rick Rubin heard this? Because Rick Rubin, I heard, he's a legend in the production world, and I was like, okay, I got to be missing something if Rick Rubin listened to the solo and he was like, that's it, that's the one.
Yeah.
But then as I listened to the album more and you kind of get more context to just the themes and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it fits fine.
There's a weird way to look at this if you do, because you've got the solo, right?
Yeah.
And the solo is going, and then what she's talking about is it's such a shame you didn't put up a fight, but you did this one time. So there's some frustration here, right?
Yeah.
Then we get to the solo, which seems a little bit erratic and sort of like if you're angry, you're sort of scratching on your guitar.
That's what I believe she plays the solo.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that knows, but I'm pretty sure she's the one that plays the solo.
Yeah.
Any solos on here. Like what I mean when I say in context of the album, like just the aggressiveness and just kind of like not really giving a fuck about where it's going.
You are. Yeah.
It's just like fucking just hammering at that guitar.
Yeah, and then we hit the outro, and then it's that keep on faking just to make it, and then it's just building up. So so that does make sense the way that the chorus was, the way the guitar solo was structured.
I think it will grow on you if you do listen to this record more, because it has grown on me.
Yeah, I think the outro for me was the real highlight. I think once we came into that fast, repetitive, keep on faking just to make it. What's the point of fixing problems once it's broken? Where we're shameless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Then it was building up with the track, and you're going. Okay, this is fucking building up. There's something happening here.
You're waiting for like an A.G. Cook, George Daniel remix to come in there. Let's go to track number 4, Real Man. This is a song I feel like it just gives me a feeling of something you would play.
Why don't you just call my mother? I told my mother what you did, like a kid.
Lenka.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you hit it on the head.
Because you played her around the house all the time.
I love Lenka. I still follow her.
The voice, everything. The sway.
Yeah.
But then that right here is Elliott Smith-like.
Oh, is
so
that?
It's cool. It's to me, it's like two worlds colliding.
I think we needed Real Man right where it is.
Yeah.
Because of this production is
and the pacing
in the album.
I think you'll see that the flow of this album is phenomenal.
Yeah. I love the swing on it. For me it had this like this old time bar swing.
It did.
And
I couldn't remember the artist's name, but you played her in the house a lot, and when I heard this song, I was like, this is bringing me back childhood memories.
That's crazy that you picked up on that.
I couldn't remember her name, so I'm glad you remember it. I know now, Lenka. I got a similar feeling.
I played both her albums like non-stop.
All the time. I thought it was great.
So did I. I thought it was a fantastic track. The lyrics in it here, and I've already told you that I'm not part of the band. Please forgive me for thinking it's a fleeting romance. I guess no one ever taught you how to be a real man. Like,
yeah, structure, production, and you said album placement in the track list was nice.
It was because we had the same sonic element through the first couple of tracks, and then this gave this barroom feel, which was nice to break up where it is, right?
Track number 5, Tie My Shoes.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
The clarity?
Yeah, it's clear, but it's not over mixed, so it sounds like just you can hear you hear the tone of the strings.
It's professionally mixed, like you can
Been lying to myself, wondering how it could have been for you.
You know that part. Oh, hey!
I know.
Fucking I love this song. Her voice is really like the angelic, like great harmonies there. I'm loving saxophone coming back.
Yeah.
Claro, 1975.
That's one of my favorites.
That was a very, very, very well written and produced song. Her voice is very
angelic.
It's you know what I mean that in the coolest way. She can sing, and she does these little pull-ups every once in a while, like just in the middle of the word. Well, she'll pull up and come back down, very, very like a really quick boom.
Yeah,
and I love that about it. I just really, really, I want to read this. So my voice, when I got emotional, man, I got emotional. When she says "my old man," is she referencing? So I'm gonna look here. Waiting for you to tie my shoes, because that's something a parent does.
Yeah, the album is definitely family oriented as well. It touches on some subjects, especially later in the record.
Yeah.
You'll see.
It's all gone loose, and the screws are with my old man. He's got nothing to lose but to ruin my plans. Are they estranged? Is that
what she's
just
alluding to on there?
That's what
I haven't done my research into her personal life too much, so I actually wouldn't know.
But that chorus seems like it's got a lot more into it than what, you know what I mean? There's more substance.
Yeah, beyond the surface.
Yeah,
there.
but that was really nice, and that little thing, man. That
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, that guitar piece, right?
That's why I was like, usually I can control myself. You know, I sit here and I wait and I watch you, but no, I was like waiting. I was like trying to get you to make sure you're paying attention, even though you were paying attention. I was just that excited. Track number 6, Girl Song.
Wow, our first real full-on piano.
Just a girl who overthinks about proportions or her waist.
Wow.
The creases on her face, they like no other.
She's right in our brains, eh?
What do you mean? Oh,
with the vocals.
Yes, yeah.
Like literally between.
Bad day. Brain's no good at fighting. My hands are tied and I'm out loose and
That was very, 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 very beautiful. I could listen to Beabadoobee with piano and vocals just like that all day on repeat.
Just a whole record of that.
Just that was so calming to me. I got to ask this question here, and I want to know, waking up to hardly recognizing my own face, just a stranger in the mirror thinking, oh, what a shame, didn't think she'd look this way. Don't look no different to how I looked yesterday. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all I want to do is find the words to make it up to you.
You think that the person in this...
I think she's talking to herself.
She's addressing herself. I would not be surprised if that's the case.
In a way, I'm figuring out at my own pace. Just a girl who overthinks about proportions or her waist. The creases on her face.
Yeah. I feel like that song can become so like powerful to listen to if you interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Because like say you're going through something, but you're not involved with anybody else. It's just an internal struggle.
Yeah.
If you look at the song that way, it totally opens up like this, almost this comfort thing.
Yes. Yeah.
But you could also be, ashamed of where you've come to in life, and you're looking at yourself, and maybe a lot of that weight and burden is because the way you are towards somebody else, maybe a lover or a family member.
Yeah.
So I feel like, whichever way it applies to you is probably the best way to interpret it.
That was a really beautiful track.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Track 7, Coming Home.
You do the dishes, I'll carry the load to make up lost time. A hotel room only means I'll be with you soon. An American state makes me feel so far away.
Sure, a Journey album so far, eh?
Yeah.
So
Feel the Journey influence?
Not the band. No.
This time I won't be late.
I love the pull-offs.
Yeah.
Boom, gang, gang, boom, gang, gang.
I'm not sorry, 'cause this time I won't be late.
I like that song a lot.
It was beautiful, very like a beautiful track. Kerrang reveals that Beabadoobee wrote "Coming Home" when she was away in Los Angeles from her 2 cats,
Is that really? That's true.
Kimchi and Miso, as well as her boyfriend Jake Erland.
Oh, I like how the boyfriend's added after.
This
Kimchi and Miso are
first,
of course.
and then you have Jake.
Yeah,
This
he
love
doesn't
song
matter.
highlights how the distance can influence you, missing the very nuance. Things such as washing dishes and taking out the trash, and the intimacy that is often not. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that was cool. So that was.
And one thing that I kind of noticed with the track is it's got this a little bit more of a, I don't want to say a DIY, but because I've overused that.
It's not
word,
super polished,
but it's not very polished. And then if you hear at the end,
play the end up again.
It almost sounds like it's like, you know,
You do the
a recording of a cassette or something that she's sending over back to her boyfriend.
Let me hear this
Listen
again.
to the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
I won't be late.
Like you hear that little.
Yeah.
So it almost sounds like it's like maybe like, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too deep, but like it's like a little cassette, and then like that's her sending it over,
Sending it
to,
off, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, or something like that. You know, a little demo.
Yeah, yeah.
To Kimchi and Miso.
But not Jake.
Yeah, fuck him. It's just the cats. No, great song. We're going to track number 8. Ever Seen.
Spent some time waiting for your face. Don't wanna risk just making all the same mistakes. The highest I think I've ever been. Said I had the prettiest eyes you'd ever seen.
This one's fucking getting me going already.
Yeah, this is the one that gives me the most 1975 feel with the lyrical patterns.
Ever seen.
I like that how it switched there.
To he's.
Yeah. Ooh, we got some synths.
Yeah, to me, I got a little bit of a 1975 feel just with the production. Well, not necessarily all the production, but just certain elements of it.
Little bits of it.
Yeah, little bits of it.
Yeah.
I definitely hear Elliott Smith a lot.
Yeah.
And I definitely hear some Fiona Apple parts on here just throughout the record. I think, if I remember correctly, I think she references Elliott at some point. A lot of...
In this? Yeah.
Yeah, we've really got to do Elliott Smith, because how many artists have we gone through where they talk about how much they love Elliott Smith?
Yes.
And it's like we haven't even done any Elliott Smith. I've shown you a song.
You saw me, one song.
He's one of my favorite artists, and we haven't covered him, which is something that needs to change. Track number 9, A Cruel Affair.
Something so uncomplicated still fill her brain.
I love the swagger on this. Not the swag. What is it? Sway. Yeah.
Lots of sway on the record.
It's so fucking weird how songs can make. You know what I'm thinking of right now?
What?
Like an Art Deco house in California in the hills.
Yeah. It's a nice sunny day.
Yeah. It's just. You know what I think I just said in this? I think I just described Rick Rubin's house.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, a bare bones, completely bare bones.
California.
Minimalist. He's a real minimalist, right? Wow, we went into like a little dream sequence here. Look at that. That's very cool. This okay, I'm just going to go for the feel of the song for me for that.
Yeah.
That was very, very nice and breezy and light, and just gave me a really good warm feeling. But I don't think I think we're talking completely something, right? different. Like Sweetest Smile with her eyes, perfect style. She doesn't
Oh,
try.
you mean like lyrically?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Why so many are so codependent, wasting time. And I know somewhere we both care. Because she's contemplating. We both sat complaining. We both compare. And then this one here, verse 2 is like, she's a catch, but so am I.
Mm-hmm.
No point for my demise. And the problems are so aggravating through their eyes.
Track 10, Post.
Whoa. Whoa, heavy beat, eh?
Yeah.
One.
He's getting tired running fast as he can. Daddy always said he was half of a man. And all I wanted the most.
Hear the bass enter, eh?
Yeah.
Made all the difference. Love that grinding.
I'm going to switch up here. See her name on the post.
Yeah.
See her name on the post. She's
Eh?
I'm not waiting any longer for you.
I'm really digging this track, man.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
With these. That was a really cool track, man.
One of my favorites.
That was really cool. I like that they pushed the boundaries with some of that stuff that was going on there.
Yeah, it was actually my favorite first listen.
Yeah.
That was the one that I gravitated towards the most when I first listened to this record.
There was one section there just at the end where my eyes were closed and I pictured, and this I'm going to just go, I did this in the Carolyn Polachek album, right? And I was talking about a bathtub or something like that. I remember that. But just now I pictured her, all that static and everything was her in a windstorm with tons of dust around, tumbleweeds going. But as she's walking towards us, she's singing, and her voice is sort of on that even plane, but it's cutting through.
It's interesting how certain albums or certain songs can give you a real just visualizer in your head.
I love that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen with every song.
It doesn't. No,
that was probably, other than the one where you pictured Rick Rubin's house.
Yeah.
It's probably the only other song so far that you've had like a real strong visual in your mind.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen on every album. Like I remember, you could probably tell me what
Drawing of an Angel.
Where
you were picturing like a bathtub and
in an old house, empty
yeah.
house, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's weird how and that's the magic of music. That's what makes it fucking beautiful. Is that you're listening to it, and suddenly something comes to my brain completely different than yours,
than me, than Beabadoobee,
than everybody
anybody
else.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of music. I love music.
I love music too. So let's keep going to track 11, Beaches.
I think I know this one.
You
Yeah,
know this one. Yeah. So we'll jam out to it. See how it feels in the context of the album. Maybe you might see it differently.
True. Yeah. I love this.
I'm sure, 'cause days gone away when I'm on the bright beaches and the walls.
These breaks right here, I love it. I think we get a solo here.
We do. Yeah. She plays it, I think, too.
I like solos that follow the vocal melody.
Yeah.
They tell me all the secrets, don't wait for the time just to dip both your
Yeah, that line right there is
That's worth the price of admission right there. It's just motivated me right there. Great ending chord.
I love the way it ends on that chord specifically.
Yes. I'm not Rick
Beato.
I'm not Rick Beato, but
Or
whatever
Rick
that
Rubin.
note is, or Rick Rubin. I'm not even a Rick. But whatever that note is, I'd have to pick it out on my guitar.
But
it feels like it's not finished, and that's the thing. It's like you're waiting for it to go back to the root.
Yeah.
And it's like you end on the root. I like that feeling.
I know it's an odd feeling. It gives you like a weird tingle.
Yes.
Track number 12, Everything I Want.
couldn't list all of the reasons.
Every time her voice comes in, it's just like,
Everything
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
now I see. weather's got me down, but like the sun, you'll come around.
Love this song.
I love that people are able to articulate the love for somebody in their life
in this kind of way.
Yeah, I can't do that. I buy mom a couple burritos. This chorus reminds me of November right now.
Now I see the weather's got me down, but like the sun, you'll come around.
I think she's singing to somebody, but then I also think she's singing to the sun in some parts.
Yeah, no, I think she is singing to somebody.
Yeah. Which could be the sun in her life.
Her eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're deep today, like we smoked. I love that little country swagger after Beaches, eh?
Yes.
That was a sweet track.
A lot of sweet tracks.
Okay, I'm going to read it because okay, or do you want to say our interpretation? Because I think she was singing to somebody, but also she was also singing at some part at the end of this chorus here. It says, "Now I see the weather's got me down, but like the sun, you'll come around. I had finally figured it out. You were just around the corner as the light shone on my face, like a scent I almost taste, and it stayed with me for days, and I hope it lasts forever. You're such a pretty sight." Okay, that could be a person then.
I think it's about a person because she addresses the sun in the song as something else.
Yeah. You're right. Here
as the sun.
Yeah, the song is B expressing her deep affection for someone who means everything to her. Despite feeling down at times, the thought of them brings light and hope. B is determined to get
just
things
like
right.
The sun. Yeah.
Just like the sun, yeah. That's a beautiful track.
Yeah.
Great placement again.
Yeah.
We came off
after
of Beaches.
a little heavy.
Beaches.
Yeah. And then a nice calm one.
Yeah.
Track 13, The Man Who Left Too Soon.
Wow, love it.
In a state of finding comfort in familiar places that I know, the sadness only temporary. The one of many ways I could think of you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I want more of this.
Yeah, it's a short song.
The man who has left too soon.
You got to do it. She's got to redo this song.
With more.
Just more. I just got emotional and I just want more of it right now.
Short, sweet, sad, beautiful.
Fuck, that was beautiful. It was just too short. I really just got into it and started feeling lots of emotion in there. And
I think she purposefully did that because she didn't want you to get emotional. Like she had our video in mind, and she was like, you know what? Let's save Kevin,
so he doesn't bawl,
so he doesn't cry. Let's just make it really short. No, I love that song.
In a state of finding comfort in familiar places, that I know the sadness is only temporary. It comes and goes like the weather in the summer. You know what? The ebbs and flows of loss when you lose somebody, and sadness when they come at. My dad's been gone 20 years, and out of the blue, for some reason, this pang in my soul, heart, I don't know, my organs, I don't know where this shit comes from. But I'll just get it and I'll go, fuck, I miss that guy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, like, she encapsulates it in that one verse right there.
Yeah, I get that feeling too, with people that I've lost. I mean, family members that we've lost together. Randomly, those feelings that I felt the first day will show up 10 years later.
Yeah.
It's not all the time, and it's not, a regular occurrence or something that's a hindrance on my life where I'm like, fuck, I need therapy or something. But it's just like, randomly one day I'll just be like, those feelings will just come back for a short period of time, and then they'll slowly go back. I'll go back to normal, but it's odd how that happens.
Well, you know what? One of the comfort things that I got from it was that I think that at least we look at the same moon. Mm-hmm. There's a bit of a comfort for me there that I thought that,
is it like a grander, like a bigger thing? There's like a universe.
There's something in the universe where my dad is, I don't know, where he's somewhere staring. We all stare at the same moon, and at least
that's kind of how I took the song.
Yeah, that was a very, very sweet. A little bit too short, and I love that she did it for
her boyfriend.
I think it's Jake. Did it for Jake, and she didn't do like she didn't write this song for the cat.
Miso and kimchi.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that she did it. And
for Jake, he got his redemption there.
Yeah, and that you know what I'll tell you something. Beabadoobee, again, very empathetic to what he was going through to write this track.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I love that.
It tells a lot about her character.
Exactly, right? So she just won a lot of points with that track for me.
Track 14, This Is How It Went.
Scared to speak, finding words for an email to you. Try to see through the hurt to find it stuck on my shoe. Writing 'cause I'm healing, never writing songs to hurt you. Using what I'm best at, and I hope you do the same.
Wow.
I love that line. I'd sure make a movie before planning on something to say.
Blissfully listening to Elliot, writing songs, he did the same. Using what I'm best at, and I hope you do the same.
Is this the last track?
Yeah.
This is fucking great for that.
Shall we make a movie?
And I love that she's talking about her songwriting at the end.
Yeah.
Here. I love that.
Well, and it's the title of the song kind of reflects on the album title.
Yep.
This Is How Tomorrow Moves. This Is How It Went.
Yeah.
You made it worse just by singing along.
Those cellos.
Just keep busy.
I should mention, I think her boyfriend is a movie director.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, which kind of explains some of the lines.
That was very, very, very cool way to finish off this album.
This Is How Tomorrow Moves by Beabadoobee.
And this is how it went.
Yeah, and
That's great.
This is your first introduction
Yes.
to Beabadoobee. Tell me about it.
I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, at first track, listening to her voice, I thought, will I be able to handle her voice throughout the whole album? But the way that she used the production and the way that in parts that she went, because when somebody's, so I'm going to call it whisper singing all the time.
Yeah, like a soft voice.
Soft voice. I could get tired of it, right?
Yeah, if it's every track.
If
and
it's every track.
The same, yeah.
But the production was one of the offsetting features for me that really emphasized her voice. The piano track really brought it out, and
I
it was
think,
just
one of the best songs.
it was just like, wow, her voice is, and her little inflections, and then her compassion, I think, came out
towards other people.
It's fucking nuts how you can listen to an album and then just fall in love with an artist.
Yeah,
because it just how they write and connects a little bit. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the DIY album you were talking about.
Yeah, because Beatopia and then her debut.
Yeah, because I want to hear. I really want to hear the difference in
contrast.
In contrast, and see, because she had mentioned this is a growth album. And growing as
I can confidently say it really is a growth album.
It is, right? Yeah,
As someone who has listened to her past music, I think this is easily her best work, easily her most polished, her best writing, song structure, production, singing. Everything is phenomenal on this project.
And that's growing up, that? Yeah. One part of the interview I found really interesting is that she said, when she has a baby, she wants to move back home.
To England?
No, to the Philippines, yeah, and live there, and so that she can just be free away from the chaos and of London and the big cities, and you can see that in her spirit, and that's what I got out of this album. It was very peaceful, just calm. And her style of singing really brings you to this
trance-like state
that things are gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Even the song that she sang, the short song about Jake's father's passing.
Yeah.
Was just like, everything's gonna be okay. We're looking at the same moon. You know what I mean, and those kind of things. So really, really good listen. I'm glad we did this one because it
was one that I was not gonna let slide by, because I've been listening to it so much.
Yeah,
there wasn't a high demand in terms of people on Patreon or YouTube or any other social media. It wasn't like I was getting bombarded with messages saying you got to do it. I had a lot of fun today.
I had lots of fun.
I was going to ask if you had fun. You
I had
kinda
lots of
just
fun.
Jumped,
I shot load early.
Too fast. But
Boom.
Can I ask you? Did you have fun?
I had lots of fun. This was a really, really fun episode, and I'm a Beabadoobee fan now.
I'm going to clip that and just post it for her to see. I think that's it's a big accomplishment to turn you into as a professional old head, I think.
Whoa.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I hope you guys had fun. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you soon with some more episodes. Take care.
Much
Much love.
love.